Okay, Attorney Tucker, you may make your opening statement.
Thank you. And I apologize, you had to sit through a lengthy hearing for us to clarify a few things, but we're here. This is what we discussed when we were talking about it and trying to make sure that y'all had an open mind, a fair mind, and an impartial mind, because there's been a lot of media coverage, there's been a lot of talk about this. And it's finally come the day to put up a show. And as I talked to y'all earlier, making references, when I start a trial or do a jury trial, I try to give something that guides you into keeping your attention into what's going on in the case and kind of an underlining theme to keep your eyes open. And when I was thinking of this case, of course, the evidence will speak for itself. That's the one thing we'd like to come out is the evidence. But we also talked about reading between the lines, making inferences, and looking at the veracity of the witnesses, which kind of brought this story to me basically of a young boy who was out there learning how to shoot a bow and arrow. And he's out there, and he's got his father over there, and he's trying to learn to shoot that bow and arrow, and as most people start, he's not coming anywhere close to the bullseye or to the target. So he's out there trying left and right, and the neighbor keeps coming up and kind of laughing at him, saying, "Good luck, boy, try it differently, try it my way." And the dad says, no, stick the course, do it yourself, watch, learn, listen. You'll never learn anything, you just take somebody else's word for it. So he continues to shoot this bow and arrow, and he's missing, and his dad walks off, and the neighbor says, "Well, one day, son, when you want to learn how to shoot a bow and arrow, come on over here. And look at this." And he points. Lo and behold, there's a tree. And it's got an arrow right in the smack middle of a target. And then he looks at another tree. And there's that arrow, boom, right in the middle of the heart of that target, the bullseye. And he sees another one. And that young boy, just like any other kid, looks around, sees his dad's not there. And he runs over to the neighbor. And he says, "Sir, show me how to do that. I can't hit the bullseye. Can you show me how to do it?" He goes, "Maybe a little later, boy. Maybe a little later." The kid's shaking his head because he really wants to know how to do it. So he walks up on the man. He's in there talking to his friends. And he begs him, "Sir, show me how to shoot. I got to be an archer like you. I want to be able to hit the bullseye all the time." And the man says, "Look, son, I don't have time for you today. Let me just tell you how you do it. I take that bow and arrow, I shoot it into a tree, and then I paint the bullseye around it." And that's what's happening here. We got a situation, and let me, for the record, make it clear. This is a tragic situation. It's a tragic situation because one man has lost his life, and the other person has lost their chance to ever really live a normal life. So as we go through here and we see people try to paint a bullseye around an individual, the paint's not going to be there. That's not going to be enough evidence to make it look like a bullseye. It's not even going to be enough evidence to make it look like a target. So when you hear the evidence, and we anticipate the evidence to come out and talk about an accident, not a fender bender, an accident. A truck that runs a red light, nails, not just hits, nails an 18-wheeler, and disables it, puts it to the side. The correctional officer does show up on the scene. He identifies himself as a law authority and a correctional officer, and he's trying to take control of the scene and make sure everything's going on. Unfortunately, like a lot of times in Clayton County, the 911 and the authority doesn't show up in time. People are getting impatient, worried. Is he injured? Is he going to have enough, time for somebody to come in and help their injuries? And in the meantime, the individual that caused the accident is walking around. He's checking out his truck, make sure it's working. He's walking around, a little aggressive, a little faster this time. And on that 911 call, you're gonna hear the correction officer say, sir, get away from that vehicle. That thing's about to blow. It's smoking. You got radiator fluid coming out of it. This thing's not operational. Move away from it. And he turns and he talks to the 911 operator and says, man, he's over here he's getting a little crazy. I mean, we don't know what he's gonna do. And then you hear him again say, sir, get away from that. Don't you leave. Don't you leave. And he turns and starts getting a little bit more excited. And he says, somebody get a picture of that. Somebody get a picture of that. Finally, Hannah is on the phone with 911, telling them pretty much the same thing. Man, what? I don't know, this guy's leaving the scene. Get the tag number, get the tag number. And the correction officer, get the tag number, go. That's what you're gonna hear on 911. You're not gonna hear anything different. You're gonna hear that. You're gonna get to decide what was meant when he tells her, go, get that tag. And she's on the phone with 911. And of course, 911 hearing both, can you get the tag? He goes, yes ma'am, I can get the tag. In a calm voice, not an excited voice, calm voice. Did we get it? And then there's kind of radio silence. No one's really having much of a discussion because in the end, to make sure justice is accomplished, they want to see the tag number to identify who's there, who caused this accident, to hold them accountable. And therefore, they say nothing. They just let her get the tag. She starts rattling off the tag. Then all of a sudden, it's like, man, we don't want you to pursue. We want your safety. We want for your safety to stop pursuing and to come back to the scene of the accident. And that's where she says, man, I'm not going to knock. I mean, he's already caused one accident. Can't I just kind of lay back, scoot back a little bit more, but make sure the authorities know this is the vehicle they're looking for? And she says, no, I want you both come back right now. And that's when she pulls in front. And then you will see and you'll hear from witnesses and you'll get to see the vehicle. She didn't ram him. She didn't cut him off. There's enough road out there on Forest Parkway and River Road. You can move around everywhere, and you will see there was sufficient means to go around. I mean, what the heck? He's already drove away from one accident, but it wasn't an accident because she didn't hit him. He didn't hit her. Now, granted, it might not have been the smartest thing in the world to do, but she's young. She sits there and listens to authority. She believes that people still have good in them. And she comes out with the phone. Hey, I got the police on the phone. You need to go back to that accident. You need to go back here. Only to hear that engine rev up and try to ram. And you hear the engine in the 911, you hear the scream. And yes, you're going to hear the screams turn from the calm person on the phone to somebody a little frantic. And as she gets up there close with that phone, lo and behold, guess who grabs her and tries to pull her in that car? Now, the witness will tell you, there's no gun pulled at that time, it's just a phone. She just wants them to talk. Here, talk to them. They want to talk to you. They want you to go back, they want me to go back. But that's not what she found out. And she found a very valuable lesson that a lot of people already know. Don't ever walk upon somebody in a car where they're trying to leave the scene of the accident or just leave. You just don't know what you're going to find. You don't know what's behind that wheel. You don't know what's in that car. Well, she didn't know what was in that car. There's a lot of things in that car. A lot of things that shouldn't be in that car. They're going to show you pictures of a knife. They're going to show you pictures of a chain or a small, a small saw. Work tools that can be used aggressively to cause substantial, serious, immediate harm. But at that point, she's not thinking about that. She's shocked that the guy grabbed her when he's just trying to hand the phone or let the phone, she see that the police are on it to talk to him. And upon grabbing her, it's pulling her into the car. And you will see pictures And you will hear testimony, and you will see scratches all over her neck, scratches on the back of her head, all these bruises on her face. You're going to see those. These are evidence that are going to come in. These pictures were taken right after the incident. And you're going to see her shirt just ripped completely wide open. And she's there trying not to expose herself. So yeah, she did go put a hoodie on because it was exposing herself. And you'll see this shirt. You'll see the rip. You'll see the pictures of him trying to pull her in the car. And she's screaming, "Get out of the car. Get off of me. Get out of the car." She does let him know she has a gun. And his response, or something that we probably shouldn't say if somebody says they have a gun. But nonetheless, as she's trying to get back from the car, and she's pushing and she's screaming, you'll see the marks on her knees where she's up on her tippy toes, get pulling, she's trying to use her knees to get back. And he's leaning in there trying to grab something. And you'll be able to see the contents of what was in that vehicle. And you'll be able to use your common sense and your experience when you see what was about to happen, what was going to happen, what may have been said. But nonetheless, she does go to pull the gun. As she's being pulled from this side into the vehicle, and she's being pulled from this side, trying to get her gun, bam, there's another hand on it. And you will see pictures. You'll see a quick video that shows what happened. But when you slow it down and you look at the still shots, you're going to see what happens. And you're going to hear the forensic examiner, the forensic for the gun prints come in and say this gun, which is a 9mm, a Springfield, that's notorious for not having the shells jammed. But yet in this case, that spent shell is jammed in that gun. And as the state pointed out to you, there's male DNA all over the top of it. As this gun is being pulled back and pushed back at her. And as they're screaming and frantically pulling and bam, this gun goes off. And you see her grab that phone and immediately, oh my God, he just pulled the trigger on my gun and shot himself. We need an ambulance. We need the EMT out here. Please, we need the EMT. As witnesses walk around talking, asking questions, she's continuously saying, where's the ambulance? There's one right there. Get an ambulance here. He just shot himself. She has no malice intent. She's never seen anything like that. 21 years old. But she knows somebody's hurting and they need an ambulance. And then you're going to hear the forensics. And the forensics are going to come in and tell you the projection of that bullet. And what they say, the witnesses, is you just walk up, pow, and shot him. There's going to be a projection. There's going to be an angle. There's going to be a direction these bullets are going into. And you would presume if she's driving, she's right here, if he's grabbing, projection will be left to right. But look, if what they're saying is right, but you're going to hear the forensic examiner come in and say, now this bullet can is stuck at close range. It's not way over here pointing. It's at close range. And it's at an angle slightly right to left. Because when the gun is grabbed and turned back, that's the angle it is. That's why the male DNA is on the top of the gun. That is why you see her pull her arm back when it goes off. Because it's being twisted to a point. And he's trying to shoot somebody or shoot her. It's not just struggling with the gun. It's an angle of the gun that's being pointed. As he grabbed her and started pulling her in, and the weapon is pulled out and it's pointed and shot. And then she immediately grabs the phone. Like I said, this is tragic. People that have been around, that have driven that road, that know, they don't walk up on cars trying to talk to them civilly and say, hey, here's the police. And that was a learning experience to show the person had to find out. But that doesn't constitute murder. That doesn't constitute having all these charges put on her. She told from the very get-go, immediately, not thinking, well, what can I say or what should I say? She picked up that phone immediately and told him, my God, he just shot himself with my gun. We need an ambulance. If somebody's maliciously trying to kill you, they're going to ask for an ambulance? They're going to pick up the phone and say, hey, let me walk over here and talk to you a little bit. She immediately picks up, screams ambulance, and she says it numerous times when the police are talking to her, when she's talking to the witnesses, and everybody's just in shock. But they all agree. They need an ambulance. And as it was discussed earlier, there obviously was some kind of a traffic or some kind of a delay. Because it took a while. It took a while to get that ambulance out. The second they got there, those EMTs jumped on it, started working on him, talking to him, still breathing, making sure he's okay, trying to get him out of that vehicle, get him to the hospital. And unfortunately, when he gets there, he didn't make it. So as I said, this is tragic. But I implore you, empower you, listen to all the facts. That's all I want you to do, listen to all the facts. They have not been given so far. And my job as an attorney is to try to bring out as many facts as I can so that you have the full picture. Because I anticipate sometime in this trial, you're going to hear verdict. And you're going to hear, we want you to come to a verdict. And verdict is Latin for seeking the truth. But if evidence is not presented, or it's curtailed or taken away, or left out or manipulated to not give you the full truth, then verdict means seeking a conviction. And at what cost, and at what expense, and what is left out. So I am going to keep your eyes, ears, look at it, use your experience, listen to the forensics, listen to what they're saying. Sit back and visualize and use your own experience. Could this happen? Is this true? How could somebody do something malicious? And look for a motive. What kind of motive? Motive. Well, they didn't like the driver. I didn't like the driver so to shoot somebody. Come on, people at 21, they don't want to shoot anybody. They don't want to get involved, really. They want to just get on YouTube and go viral. But not this day. She just tried to help out. She followed what the correction officer told her to do. She followed what 911 said, could you do? And at that time, when they said, all right, stop, she's already engaged. She doesn't think something like this is going to happen. She believes that if you put a phone up there and it's the police, you're going to talk to them or at least respect their authority. And on this day, it wasn't respected. It was knocked out of her hand, and the other hand grabbed her and started pulling her in the car. And some will give accounts of what he said, I got something for you, bitch, or get in here, I've got you, or screaming. And that's when the profanity's going back and forth. I'm not saying it's not going to be screaming back and forth. But what you hear in these 911 tapes, and what you hear going on, there's only one conclusion you can come to. And that's that she was following. As naive as it may be, and some may even say as dumb as it may be, her intentions were good as she followed the direction of authority. And as she followed it, it put her in a situation she'd never been in. And at the result of it, she did the only thing a caring individual would do. We're all human, no matter what. No matter gender, color, race, we're all human. And the only humane thing to do when somebody is shot is try to get help for them, try to get an ambulance. And that's what she did. As for the proximate cause of the death, and once again, it's a tragedy. So we can look at it and look at all that. But look at all that occurred. And look at what you've got to listen to and what you've got to make a decision to. Because I believe if we can get all this evidence in that I've seen, if we can get all this evidence in, and I don't think we are, if we can get it all in, you're going to be able to make the right decision. And a right decision, not only can you look at the state when you make that decision, but you can look at Hannah Payne in the eye too. And you can know right here and right here, you made the right decision based on the evidence you heard, based on the evidence you saw, based on the experience and knowledge you have. So I welcome you to sit and listen to all this evidence. I will try my best to bring in as much as I can. There will be some objections. There'll be some stuff taken out that you probably moved out. Why was that taken out?
Judge, I'm going to object to that comment. That's an absolutely inappropriate comment. As you just instructed this jury, their job is to not consider evidence that was properly excluded because it doesn't comport with the rules of evidence. And so his encouragement to consider what I object to and to consider what's excluded is highly inappropriate, and I would ask that the jury be instructed to disregard that comment and that counsel be instructed to not make any such further inappropriate comments.
And Your Honor, I would say I'm not referring to what we had a conference about. There's going to be other issues that are just not there. And the jury has the right to sit back and say, why isn't it there? I'm not specifically saying the one that we had it, but there's going to be a lot of stuff that's not there. And they're to use their knowledge and experience to understand if they carry their burden beyond a reasonable doubt. And evidence not being presented helps them in that decision.
So I'm going to sustain the objection and instruct you not to engage in that, Attorney Tucker.
Engage in missing evidence?
Correct.
Okay. All right. I apologize. But you'll have enough to see. You'll have your own experience, your own knowledge. You'll get to make your decision based on what you see and what you know. I feel comfortable that when you see all this and you hear it all, there's no audacity. There's no somebody being malicious. It's a situation that somebody very young got put in, following the direction of authority, that by the grace of God, she's alive to say today. And I don't want to take away from the tragedy of the loss, because it is. But I do want you to look at how it came to be, and if somebody has committed malice murder, or felony murder, or false imprisonment. This is a young girl doing what she was told to do, and you will hear the evidence. And I won't take any more of your time because I'm ready to get in that evidence. Thank you so much, and at the end of the trial, as I said, no matter what decision you come to, be able to look at the state, be able to look at my client, say you made the right decision. And I believe once the evidence is done, you'll be able to do that and let her know she's not guilty. Thank you.